Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars.
Is Las Vegas dying, or is it all hype?
Las Vegas, that once promised affordable living and boundless entertainment, now grapples with realities that drive families away faster than ever. In recent months, tourism has plummeted by 12% year over year, signaling deeper economic woes that ripple into everyday life. Locals whisper about empty streets and fading dreams, their voices laced with frustration and fear for the future.
Yeah, it may be dark now, but this vacant building that you can see behind me had a lot of police activity earlier, as reports of homeless living in and outside of the property.
This isn't just a temporary dip. It's a crisis building momentum in 2025, where population growth slows to a mere 0.71% annually. Emotions run high as families pack up, leaving behind homes they once cherished for the promise of stability elsewhere. The urgency to uncover these truths grows as the city's shine dims under the weight of unspoken hardships.
Alfredo De La Torre runs 2 restaurants in Las Vegas. He says customers are experiencing sticker shock.
Las Vegas faces a relentless heat and climate crisis that pushes residents to their breaking point. Newcomers arrive in spring, basking in mild temperatures around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, only to confront brutal summers where the mercury soars to 115 degrees or higher. Sidewalks scorch like hot coals, and even brief outdoor exposure risks severe health issues, including heat stroke. The city now reports more heat-related emergencies than most in the United States, rivaling Phoenix in sheer volume.
This is a $1.3 million home.
They believe they bought a wonderful home, and instead they bought a lemon.
Elderly individuals and retirees, forming a significant portion of the population, suffer the most from these dangers. Families endure skyrocketing utility bills, with air conditioning costs reaching $400 monthly for modest homes. Larger households see expenses climb to $700 during peak heat, adding thousands annually to budgets already strained. This financial burden, combined with limited outdoor activities, breeds a sense of desperation and emotional exhaustion among those who stay.
Some are saying that could signal trouble ahead for the U.S. economy.
The drought gripping the region amplifies these woes as lake mead drops to historic lows not seen since the 1930s. Water scarcity looms like a shadow, fueling fears that the city's supply could falter in the coming years. Despite conservation efforts that have reduced usage even as the population swells by 500,000 over 2 decades, the psychological toll is immense. Residents watch their green spaces vanish, replaced by mandates for drought-resistant landscaping, while neighboring states seem untouched. This inequality stirs resentment and anxiety, making families question the long-term viability of raising children here. Projections warn of increasing hot days, with 38 days exceeding 108.9 degrees Fahrenheit by 2050. The emotional weight of uncertainty drives some to seek cooler, more sustainable havens elsewhere. In 2025, this climate reality isn't just uncomfortable. It's an urgent call to action before it's too late.
Good evening, Jerica. Crowds out here are smaller, so are the tips, despite some very big tabs. The fix, according to some, is simple. Stop nickel and diming folks.
Heat waves compound the crisis, with homeless populations suffering disproportionately, as 147 heat-associated deaths were recorded in 2024 alone. By 2030, shelters could face 70 to 80 hot days above 100 degrees Fahrenheit each summer. Nights offer no respite, with temperatures lingering above 80 degrees, heightening risks of illness and mortality. The east side of the city, home to many experiencing homelessness, endures higher than average heat exposure year-round. This disparity evokes heartbreak, as vulnerable groups battle elements without adequate protection. Community leaders urge for more cooling stations and supportive housing, yet the need grows dire. Emotions surge as stories of loss circulate, painting a picture of a city failing its most fragile. The heat isn't merely weather, it's a humanitarian emergency demanding immediate response.
The consumer looks at it and says, man, I'm paying this much for this, I just don't see the value.
Families feel the sting most acutely, as relentless sun curtails playtime and outdoor family bonding. Health concerns mount, from dehydration to long-term effects like respiratory issues exacerbated by poor air quality, Utility spikes force tough choices, like cutting back on essentials to afford cooling. The desert's beauty turns burdensome, with evaporation rates climbing due to climate change. Residents ponder a future where water rationing becomes routine, eroding the allure of desert living. Emotional bonds to the city fray under this pressure, leading to tearful goodbyes. Urgency builds as experts predict even hotter conditions, pushing the narrative from survival to escape. Las Vegas must confront this climate reckoning, or risk losing more of its soul. The convergence of heat and drought creates a vicious cycle, straining resources and amplifying cost. Fire risks escalate, with extreme fire weather days projected to rise through 2050. Property owners invest in mitigation, but the emotional drain is palpable. Neighborhoods once vibrant now feel precarious, fostering isolation amid shared fears. Conservation successes, like recycling 90% of indoor water, offer hope but not enough reassurance. Families weigh the pros of no state income tax against these perils, often choosing to leave. The city's defiance of nature now backfires, evoking regret among longtime locals. This crisis demands bold, emotional pleas for change to salvage what's left.
On the Strip,
the prices are high. They're ridiculous.
Beyond weather, the financial implications of climate hit hard, with insurance premiums rising due to flood and fire threats. Homeowners face unpredictable bills, adding to the sense of instability. Retirees, drawn by affordability, now question their choices amid escalating costs. The urgency to adapt grows, as projections show heat waves occurring 7 times more often by 2080. Emotional narratives from affected families highlight the human cost, urging policy shifts. Las Vegas's growth, once a boon, now strains limited resources. The blend of environmental and economic pressures creates a tipping point. Residents demand action, their voices charged with fear and determination.
Even a drink can drain your wallet. How much did you pay for this?
$33.
The city is also feeling the squeeze. June saw an 11% drop in total visitors.
In the face of these challenges, community resilience shines through conservation stories. Yet, the overarching emotion is one of looming dread. Heat-related vulnerabilities extend to pets and children, heightening parental anxiety. Daily life adapts with indoor activities replacing outdoor freedom. The desert's harsh beauty evokes mixed feelings of awe and apprehension. Projections of 48 to 60 very hot days by 2080 intensify the call for sustainable solutions. Families relocate to greener states, carrying memories tinged with sorrow. The climate crisis in Las Vegas isn't abstract. It's a raw, urgent reality reshaping lives. Only through collective emotion and action can the city hope to endure.
A brand new school here in the Valley's redefining education. This is a K-8 campus, and it uses one of our lakes, and there aren't many, as a backdrop. 8 News Now education reporter Ozzy Mora explains.
Las Vegas' school system struggles profoundly, driving parents to desperate measures in their quest for better opportunities. Families who relocated for sunshine and low taxes now pull children from Clark County classrooms, citing overcrowding and underfunding. A national study ranks the area second to last among 50 largest metros for school quality, a devastating blow to hopeful newcomers. With over 300,000 students, the district ranks 5th largest nationwide, yet resources fall short. Class sizes balloon, teachers burn out, and safety concerns spike post-pandemic. Parents from states like Colorado express shock at the disparities in programs and attention. Behavioral issues and violence reports climb, leaving families feeling unsafe and unheard. The emotional toll is immense, as parents grapple with their children's futures in a system ranked among the nation's worst funded.
Our school is a group of families that are homeschooling that need some support from teachers.
Teachers guide students through the lessons. The school offers a blend of Montessori method.
Private schools emerge as an alternative, but costs soar to $15,000 to $25,000 per child annually. For a 2-child household, this adds $50,000 atop housing expenses, crushing middle-class budgets. Many tolerate heat and high bills, but education becomes the deal breaker, prompting urgent moves. Wealthier areas like Summerlin boast excellent schools, yet most families can't afford those zip codes. Nevada's overall education ranking sits at 14th worst, with pre-K through 12th grade 4th worst nationally. Teacher shortages plague the state, though retention rises to 94.4% this year. Despite 19,381 educators on staff, gaps persist. Parents' frustration boils over, fueling an exodus driven by love and fear for their kids.
Enrollment in Clark County schools is down, continuing a bit of a trend of fewer parents putting their kids in CCSD.
One reason from the district, lower birth rates.
Academic recovery lags for pandemic-era students, with reading proficiency efforts intensifying from pre-K onward. Tutoring and small group instruction aim to surpass pre-pandemic levels, yet progress feels slow. Parents seek better communication from the Clark County School District, growing impatient with budget mismanagement. Safety extends to traffic, with over 100 stops and 50 citations on the first school day alone. Crossing guards expand to middle and high schools. Addressing community demand, emotional pleas from families highlight the need for change as stagnation breeds despair. The district's growth in student population brings excitement, but challenges loom large. Urgency mounts for reforms as education shapes the city's future viability.
The transient community, people always moving in and moving out, but at CCSD, the flow as of late has been one-sided. Families pulling their children out.
Legislative efforts in 2025 proposed oversight boards and accountability measures, yet critics decry lack of funding. Bills from leaders focus on districts, with punitive elements sparking debate. Parents and teachers voice frustrations, demanding transparency and support. The contrast between promise and reality evokes heartbreak. As dreams of stability shatter, retention improvements offer glimmers of hope. But systemic issues persist. Families weigh tax savings against educational shortfalls, often choosing relocation. The emotional narrative centers on sacrifice for children's sake. Las Vegas must address this crisis swiftly, or risk losing its family base.
We came in about 3,600 students less than projected, and so there is more movement than we initially anticipated.
Overcrowding leads to stretched resources, where individual attention suffers. Safety incidents in schools alarm parents, prompting tough decisions. Funding ranks low nationally, hindering program quality. Community partnerships aim to bolster support, yet gaps remain. Emotional stories of struggling students underscore the urgency. District leaders highlight growth and retention gains, but skepticism abounds. Families from out of state face culture shock in the system. The path forward demands investment and reform to stem the tide.
I got a lot of tattoos, and I've got facial piercings, and I have colored hair, and I know that that's not like some places look for in a teacher.
Behavioral spikes post-pandemic add layers of concern for student well-being. Private tuition burdens exacerbate inequality, leaving many behind. Parents tolerate other hardships but draw the line at education. Neighborhood disparities highlight access issues. Legislative debates in 2025 signal potential change, yet outcomes remain uncertain. Emotional investment in children's futures drives relocations. The system's scale overwhelms, fostering feelings of helplessness. Urgent calls for better funding echo through communities.
Across the district, we had about 40% of our schools increase actually in students and 60% decrease in the number of students. And so that's something across the school district.
Teacher dedication shines amid shortages, with retention climbing. Academic initiatives target foundational skills, aiming for recovery. Parental involvement grows, seeking to influence change. Safety measures like crossing guards provide some relief. Emotional resilience among families is tested daily. District growth brings opportunities but strains resources. The narrative of failure persists, urging swift action. Las Vegas's education woes fuel a broader exodus narrative. In the end, education isn't optional. It's the cornerstone of family decisions. Parents' sighs of frustration turn to action, packing for better prospects. The system's rankings evoke shame and determination to leave. Resource contrasts shock newcomers, amplifying discontent. Funding shortfalls perpetuate cycles of struggle. Emotional bonds to the city weaken under this pressure. Urgency for reform builds as losses mount. Families depart, carrying hopes for brighter educational horizons.
The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority showing an 11% drop in visitor volume this summer. So there's a looming question. Do the perks outweigh the costs?
Hidden costs of everyday living in Las Vegas erode budgets and spirits, catching newcomers off guard. Beyond mortgages and rent, vehicle maintenance surges due to desert heat, with tires lasting far less than 60,000 miles. Dashboards crack, paint fades, and air conditioners fail, adding $1,000 to $1,500 yearly. Lifestyle temptations abound, from world-class shows to endless dining, leading to unplanned spending of $500 to $800 monthly. Gambling access everywhere tempts some, wrecking finances and relationships. Trends in populations make building friendships hard, fostering emotional isolation. These expenses stack up, turning affordable dreams into nightmares. Residents feel the urgency to reassess, as hidden drains on wallets force relocations. Car repairs become a staple, with heat-punishing vehicles relentlessly. Entertainment's pull creates just one's habits that spiral. Community ties feel fleeting in a city of constant flux. Budgets strain under unpredictability, evoking stress and regret. Families miss stable neighborhoods elsewhere. The emotional cost of rootlessness adds to financial woes. Urgency grows to escape the cycle. Las Vegas's allure fades under these burdens.
Whether it's a viral $26 bottle of water at the Aria or people taking to social media to complain about high resort fees, the theme remains the same. Is Las Vegas worth it?
Utility bills, especially water and power, climb with drought policies. Auto insurance ranks high nationally, swallowing tax savings. Garbage and sewer fees inch up as the city supports 2.3 million residents. Unpredictability hampers planning, heightening anxiety. Ownership feels burdensome, prompting sales. Emotional narratives highlight the trap of rising costs. The irony of a tax haven turning expensive stings deeply. Residents demand relief, their voices urgent. Grocery and daily needs add layers, with costs above national averages in some areas. Entertainment spending creeps up, disguised as normalcy. Vehicle upkeep in 118-degree heat becomes survival. Social isolation compounds as transient jobs disrupt connections. Families tally the toll, often choosing departure. The urgency of financial strain builds emotional pressure. Hidden costs reveal the city's true price. Escape becomes a beacon of hope.
The first day we were here, I got a bagel and cream cheese, and it was $12. So I definitely had a little bit of sticker shock.
Lifestyle creep erodes savings, with temptations constant. Car maintenance budgets balloon unexpectedly. Community support feels lacking, amplifying loneliness. Expenses mount quietly, leading to breaking points. Emotional exhaustion from juggling bills is common. The city's vibrancy turns double-edged. Urgency to budget tighter fails many. Relocations offer relief from the grind. Gambling's presence, though not universal, adds risk for susceptible individuals. Vehicle destruction in heat forces frequent replacements. Social scenes demand spending, straining modest incomes. Transient nature hinders deep roots. Families feel the emotional void keenly. Hidden costs accumulate, pushing decisions. The narrative of surprise expenses evokes frustration. Las Vegas's everyday realities demand reckoning.
You know, a club sandwich and a couple Diet Cokes. The Cokes are $4 a pop.
Ownership costs like HOA fees add hundreds monthly. Insurance rises with climate risks. Utilities spike in summer, demanding sacrifices. Predictability vanishes, fostering insecurity. The emotional weight of instability drives moves. The tax-free promise dims. Urgency for transparency in costs grows. Residents depart, seeking financial peace. In totality, these hidden burdens chip away at the dream. Families realize the mass doesn't add, prompting urgent exits. Emotional ties are severely under pressure. The city's temptations become traps. Budget drains lead to heartfelt goodbyes. Las Vegas must address these to retain its people. The cost of living narrative is one of caution. Change is imperative to halt the flow.
Home buyers backing out is a trend becoming a lot more common all across the country and right here in Las Vegas. So why are more real estate deals falling through, and what does it mean for the housing market?
The housing price explosion in Las Vegas shatters dreams, with median values at $438,432. Prices rose 0.9% year over year, yet forecasts predict a 1.2% decline by mid-2026. Inventory climbs to 7,950 units, up 4% monthly. Closed sales drop to 1,900, signaling cooling demand. Month of inventory reached 4, favoring buyers. Renters face median rents of $1,393, with 2 bedrooms at $1,828. Over half of renters are cost-burdened, spending over 35% on housing. The emotional urgency of unaffordability drives families out, their hopes dashed. Median sale prices hit $431,917 in June. List prices stand at $467,933. Sales under list price occur in 55.8% of cases. Days to pending average 31, indicating slower market. Income needs exceed $115,000 for median homes, against actual medians of $72,000. Bidding wars from out-of-state investors sideline locals. New apartments lag demand by 7,000 yearly. Heartache mounts as affordability slips away, fueling relocations.
This may just look like a normal neighborhood near Sahara and Arville, but if you look closer, you'll see that there are several homes up for sale on this one street alone. It's a trend that's growing across the valley.
Home values hover near records despite inventory rise. Unemployment and mortgage rates influence forecasts. Job growth could stabilize, but current trends evoke fear. Families struggle with payments around $2,870 monthly. HOA fees and taxes add hundreds more. Emotional strain of housing insecurity is profound. The surge from 118,000 in 2012 to 485,000 now feels like betrayal. Urgency to sell and leave intensifies. Rent increases from $1,200 to $2,000 strain budgets. Cost-burdened households face tough choices. Competition heightens with cash offers. Supply shortages tighten the crunch. Emotional narratives of displacement circulate. The market's imbalance breeds desperation. Families eye exits for sustainable living. Las Vegas's housing crisis demands attention.
2 on this side, 1 the last house over there. That's a rental. This one's gonna be going up for sale. At the corner of the street, there's another one.
Predictions for 2025 show 3% price growth, then 4% in 2026. Existing sales up 6%, new up 10%, yet near-term declines loom. Inventory trends suggest buyer advantages. Emotional relief comes from potential corrections. The explosion's impact lingers, pushing moves. Urgency for policy interventions grows. Residents feel the squeeze acutely. Investors from California dominate, leaving locals out. Median incomes lag housing costs, mortgage rates near 7% compound issues. Families calculate sustainability, often finding shortfalls. Heartfelt decisions to relocate prevail. The narrative of betrayal resonates. Housing stability eludes many. Change is essential to retain the population. Apartment availability increases, but prices remain high. Sales over list drop to 20.1%. Market cooling offers hope, but slowly. The emotional toll on young families is significant. The explosion's legacy is one of inequality. Urgency for affordable housing builds. Departures accelerate amid frustrations. Las Vegas must evolve to survive. Families pack amid rising costs. Emotional bonds break under financial pressure. The dream home. Inventory rises, but relief is partial. The urgency of the situation is palpable. Residents seek greener pastures. The city's future hangs in balance. Crime and safety concerns in Las Vegas heighten fears, with overall rates down but sexual offenses rising. Total reported crimes dropped to 84,890 through August, from 95,473 last year. Homicides, burglaries, and vehicle thefts decline, yet rapes and related offenses increase. The city ranks in the 35th percentile for safety, meaning 65% of US. Cities are safer. Property crimes like break-ins plague residents. Violent crimes exceed national averages in some areas. School violence alarms parents, adding to relocation urges. Emotional distress from insecurity drives families away, their peace of mind shattered.
When we bought our first home, it was like $80,000.
And what are they going for now?
$450,000.
Neighborhoods once deemed safe now face spills of crime. Vehicle break-ins and thefts are rampant. Surveillance investments add cost and stress. Metro Police efforts include neighborhood watches, yet scale overwhelms. Newcomers from quieter towns adjust harshly. The emotional jarring of big city patterns is profound. Safety isn't statistics, it's daily fear. Urgency for enhanced security measures mounts. Sexual offenses, including rape and fondling, spike, evoking community outrage. Area commands report highest incidents in specific zones. Overall declines offer some relief, but vulnerabilities persist. Families weigh children's safety against other benefits. Emotional narratives of loss and fear circulate. The rise in certain crimes undermines trust. Residents demand action. Their voices charged. Las Vegas's safety narrative fuels exodus.
And the latest stats, as you see right here, those numbers have changed over several years, including a spike in reports in 2024.
Property theft hits everyday life, from porches to cars. Violent concentrations in neighborhoods heighten anxiety. School incidents climb post-virtual learning. Parents' alarm leads to tough choices. Investments in alarms become necessities. Emotional strain of vigilance is taxing. The city's growth brings crime patterns. Urgency for community solutions grows. Comparisons to national averages highlight deficiencies. Transient populations may contribute to instability. Police resources stretch thin. Families miss suburban calm. Heartfelt decisions prioritize safety. The narrative of slipping security resonates. Departures seek peace elsewhere. Las Vegas must bolster efforts to retain residents. In 2025, crime drops overall, but exceptions are alarming. Sexual assault increases demand scrutiny. Burglary declines provide hope. Motor vehicle thefts fall significantly. Emotional relief mixes with caution. The city's percentile ranking evokes concern. Residents adapt, but many leave. Urgency defines the safety discourse. School safety ties into broader concerns. Violence reports spike, affecting decisions. Parents tolerate much, but not risks to kids. Neighborhood variations add inequality. The emotional weight of fear is heavy. The adjustment for newcomers is stark. Safety investments burden budgets. Las Vegas's challenges demand urgent reform.
Here are the numbers from 2019 until today. Add it all up, it's more than 3,600 cases total in 7 years. And for perspective, Metro Police are currently reporting.
Ultimately, safety erodes the city's appeal. Families depart amid rising concerns. Emotional peace becomes a priority. Crime's impact is deeply felt. Declines offer glimmers, but rises dominate narratives. The urgency to improve is clear. Residents' voice demands loudly. The future depends on change. Water scarcity and resource limits threaten Las Vegas's foundation, with the Tier 1 shortage in effect through 2025. Lake Mead's levels plummet, warning of severe shortages ahead. The Colorado River strains under drought, serving 20 million across states. Nevada's allocation pales compared to California's. Conservation reduces usage despite population growth. Recycling 90% of indoor water helps, but outdoor losses persist. Residents endure long restrictions and fountain bans. Emotional uncertainty about future supply drives relocations. As families fear for sustainability, daily consumption averages 219 gallons per person, above national norms. Casinos use 3 billion gallons yearly, but residences dominate at 60%. Treatment plants reclaim 90 million gallons daily, yet evaporation and climate change exacerbate losses. Projections show worsening conditions. The emotional toll of precarious living is immense. Urgency for broader solutions builds. Las Vegas's defiance of the desert now falters. Bathtub rings on Lake Mead symbolize warnings. Water flows through intake structures to treatment. Reverse journeys recycle much, but not all. Outdoor irrigation wastes significantly. Families question home values amid scarcity. Investors hesitate, sensing risks. Heartfelt worries for children's futures prevail. The crisis evokes deep anxiety. Casinos recycle 40% using low-flow fixtures. Bellagio fountains recirculate water, yet overall demand rises with warmth. The fastest warming city status amplifies issues. Emotional pleas for equity in river sharing grow. Nevada shoulders burdens while others pump freely. The narrative of unfairness resonates. Urgency demands federal intervention. Groundwater supplements 10% of supply. Rainfall averages 10 inches annually. Drought linked to climate change intensifies. Population booms, strain systems, Families seek literally greener pastures. The emotional pull of security elsewhere strengthens. Water is life, and its scarcity threatens. Las Vegas must innovate or perish.
So how are the locals casinos doing? Because their market is already here.
Everybody here is so friendly, and today we're on a day date, so kids are in school. This is perfect time for us to go out.
Long-term security concerns erode confidence. Home values may falter with shortages. Climate compounds evaporation. Families plan decades ahead, often leaving. Recycling successes inspire, but sacrifices feel personal. Emotional resentment builds against perceived inequities. The urgency of the situation is dire. Residents act by moving. Resource limits extend to energy and infrastructure. Drought policies tighten bills. Conservation mandates alter lifestyles. Emotional adaptation is challenging. The city's oasis image crumbles. Families miss reliable water elsewhere. The narrative shifts from glamour to survival. Change is imperative. In essence, water woes strike at existence. Families sell amid doubts. Emotional roots wither in uncertainty. The river's strain is palpable. Conservation offers hope, but not enough. Urgency defines the discourse. Departures accelerate. Las Vegas hangs in balance.
The second quarter was an exceptional one for the company by every measure. Our Las Vegas operations delivered its highest quarterly net revenue and adjusted EBITDA in our 49-year history.
Job market instability and economic dependence in Las Vegas create a roller coaster that terrifies families. Tourism slumps 11% in June, 12% in July, year over year. Visitor numbers dropped 7.3% in the first half, sparking economic worries. Unemployment spiked to 34% in 2020, leaving scars. Hospitality dominates, with jobs vanishing in downturns. Diversification lags, despite tech like Amazon and Tesla. Median incomes at $72,000 lag housing needs. Emotional fear of collapse drives relocations. As stability eludes, the economy rebounds in numbers, but fragility persists. Service roles offer modest wages without benefits. Families struggle to build wealth. Pandemic reminders heighten anxiety. Global events could wipe incomes overnight. Emotional narratives of loss circulate. Urgency for diversification mounts. Las Vegas's gamble-like economy repels many. Tech sectors grow, but can't match the hospitality scale. Logistics offer promise, yet limited. Wages mismatch costs, trapping workers. Benefits like insurance are scarce in key industries. Long-term security feels absent. Heartfelt decisions prioritize stability. The narrative of shaky ground resonates. Residents seek less risky future.
Now, Red Rock Casino says it's also your new neighbors, contributing to the change as home construction continues on Summerlin West, Cadence, and Inspirada. Those new residents directly linked to the nearly 10% growth this year alone.
Visitor declines signal broader consumer confidence dips. Hotel revenues fall with prices. Conference reductions contribute. Economic instability evokes dread. Families trade lights for quieter stability. No tax allure offsets fears. Emotional exhaustion from uncertainty prevails. Urgency for economic resilience grows. Population growth slows to 0.5% by 2060. Immigration from California continues, but at risk. Affordability draws, yet jobs fragility repels. Emotional voting with feet occurs. The city's dependence on tourism is double-edged. Narratives of opportunity turn sour. Departures seek diverse markets. Las Vegas must evolve. Layoffs devastate without safety nets. Service workers know precarity intimately. Tech jobs are few amid dozens of low-wage roles. Income gaps widen. Families imagine wealth building elsewhere. The emotional pull of security triumphs. Urgency defines job market talks. Change is essential. Economic migrants comprise 60% of growth. Yet declining rates worry experts. Tourism's health mirrors national trends. Declines suggest U.S. economy cooling. Emotional impacts on locals are profound. The roller coaster narrative drives action. Residents depart for steadier shores. The future demands balance.
Robust visitation and strong spend per visit, coupled with a strong table games business, helped drive the highest revenue and profitability in our gaming segment in the company's history.
Las Vegas's escalating cost of living and transient nature are silently eroding the city's appeal, pushing residents toward urgent access in search of stability and connection. Families face average monthly expenses of $5,270, while singles contend with $2,930, amplified by hidden fees that drain budgets and heighten emotional stress. Ownership burdens, from rising insurance and utilities to HOA fees, shatter dreams of affordability, leaving irony and deep pain at small costs balloon into unsustainable loads. The creeping financial narrative forces quick decisions, with the city risking further population loss if adaptations falter. Meanwhile, the transient lifestyle fosters isolation, as rapid neighbor turnover and visitor-focused flux make building routes nearly impossible.
Judging from all the videos and movies, Vegas is just crazy and there's party everywhere, and then we arrived here and it was like a dead city, so.
To ground this in 2025 realities, recent data shows Las Vegas's overall cost of living at 110.6, about 10.6% above the national average, with housing 14.5% higher. Utilities run 2.6% above norms, driven by summer cooling needs, while groceries sit at 102.3.
Many people believe at least part of the downturn can be tied to higher prices, especially right there on Las Vegas Boulevard. But is that really the case?
What do you think about these hidden struggles in Las Vegas? Share your experiences in the comments below. Hit like if this resonates, and subscribe for more urgent insights into why cities like this are changing fast. Your voice could spark the adaptations needed to save Sin City.